The next topic, children, on which we have come to is evaluation or assessment of the entire Human Development Index concept. Now, while assessing certain points, we have come to certain conclusions, and we can say that this concept of human development has been incorporated in various annual human development reports of UNDP, and approx 600 reports have been published by UNDP, that is United Nations, right? And this reports includes report for India also, right? Then we can say now finally we can say, as an assessment or as an evaluation of Human Development Index, that Human Development Index, this index is widely used nowadays, mainly by the international agencies such as UNDP. Already we have talked about, and it helps because it helps to show the average achievement of every economy whosoever is using, or for whosoever it is being made by UNDP, in the economic and social sectors, not only in economic but also in social sectors. So the main merits, we can say, these are the plus points, good points, benefits, whatever you can say, these are the main merits of HDI. The first is that the major significance of HDI is that it has combined economic, that is GDP per capita, and social, that is where we are talking about life expectancy and education indicators. It is not only taking into account the income indicator that is shown by per capita or GDP per capita, but also it is incorporated social, which includes life expectancy and education indicators. So we can say it's a multi-dimensional concept, right? Then dusra is HDI is a more comprehensive measure of development than either the per capita income, the per capita income, because it is a broader indicator of the development performance of a country, because it incorporates not only economic but social perspective also, right, or social sectors also. Then third merit of HDI is that it has greatly increased our understanding, that is the understanding of our economy, of what constitutes development and which countries are really experiencing development, because it is indicated by rise in the country's HDI over time. So it is actually telling the picture whether the development is taking place, or to what extent the development is taking place in various economies. Then it focuses the attention of the policy makers on the ultimate objective of development. So because the actual picture is coming up in front, so they are more focused, the policy makers, they can clearly see the picture of the development of the economy, and they can be more focused on this issue. So they can focus their policies more directly on those areas which need improvement in development, in terms of development. There are one or two demerits also. One is it is said that it has captured only a few dimensions of human development, so it cannot be treated as a comprehensive measure, because it is based on only 3 variables that we have already talked about. Those variables, it is talking about the long and healthy life, or you can say acquire knowledge and have a decent standard of living, or in other terms we can say that they are talking only life expectancy index, education attainment index, and adjusted gross domestic product. So only 3 variables have been taken care of, so we cannot say that it is a comprehensive measure of development of an economy. Moreover, initially the HDI concentrated on the national HDI only. That means it has not taken care the HDI, that is like you can say it has not disaggregated HDI by region, gender, race, or ethnic group, etc. But these shortcomings have been taken care by the UNDP, and it has started to make human poverty index and the Gender Related Development Index also, right? So then it has also started disaggregating the country's overall SDI and so on. So these are all merits of Human Development Index. This is the assessment where you find few shortcomings along with great number of merits. Now the most important content in this chapter that you need to take care of is the Human Development Index and India, right? This is the most important content in this entire chapter, and as pointed above, just now we have talked about that the UNDP has been compiling HDI for around 189 countries as per the Human Development Report of 2018, and they are using the same three indices, that is Life Expectancy Index, Educational Attainment Index and Adjusted GDP per capita index, right? So it ranks countries on a scale of 0, that is the lowest Human Development Index, to 1. We have already talked about it when we were talking about the construction of Human Development Index. That is in between 0 and 1, the countries they are ranked. So 1 is the highest Human Development Index and 0 is the minimum or lowest Human Development Index. So the UNDP has been ranking the countries into 4 groups as per the ranking that is coming between 0 and 1. The first group is they give very high Human Development Index, and it ranks in between 0.800 or more. Now countries that fall in this category, they are Norway, Australia, Japan and New Zealand. The second is, first was very high, the second is high Human Development Index, and the range that is being attained by the countries in this level is 0.700 but less than 0.800, and countries that fall in this category are China and Sri Lanka. Then the third is medium Human Development Index, and the range here comes to 0.550 to 0.699 HDI. Now countries like India, right? India falls in the category of medium Human Development Index, and other countries in this category are Indonesia, Egypt and South Africa. And then low Human Development Index is also there, where the range is from 0.550 to the lowest, right? Now countries such as Nigeria, Uganda and Afghanistan, they fall in this category, right? Now the Human Development Report that of 2016, like its earlier reports, has calculated HDI values for different countries on uniform basis by using a particular methodology at an interval of 5 years since 1980, right? For every 5 years they measure the Human Development Index and then give their report, or then after that they make the Human Development Index for that particular country. For this a table is given that you can see in your slide, it will be shown, and we can draw the following inferences from this table. The first inference that you can draw is HDI is improving continuously since 1980. From 1980 only they have started to take 5 years account. So what we can observe is that it is improving continuously since 1980, and this has increased from 0.369 in 1980 to 0.427 in 1990, and increased further to 0.492 in 2000 and 0.640 in 2017. Excuse me. The average annual growth rate of HDI was 1.51% between 1980 and 2017. Now, second point is again important. India is in the category of medium Human Development Index countries since 1990. That means since 1990, the status of India is continued to be in the medium Human Development Index. It has not changed. Then third is for the year 2017, out of 189 countries for which UNDP has computed HDI, India ranks 130. Out of 189, India ranks 130, and the best part is that India has climbed 5 ranks point from 135 rank in 2013 to 130 rank in 2017. So it is a plus point for India. As compared to most of the developed countries having HDI for 2017 ranging between 0.880 and 0.949, India has a much lower HDI, that is 0.640. However, India has performed much better than most of the comparable countries in terms of average annual HDI growth rate during the last decade. Now, when you say India has performed much better than most of the comparable countries, then definitely we are talking about the developing countries and not of developed countries. Then fifth is, as compared to some of the other developing countries, India ranks better, as I said earlier in the previous point. Pakistan, Nepal, Bangladesh and Nigeria have HDI lower than India, but a number of other developing countries such as Thailand, Brazil, Philippines, Sri Lanka, China, South Africa and others have HDI higher than India. So India is in between, that is it is performing better than some countries, but at the same time some other countries are performing better than India as well, right? Then the next is, there has been significant improvement in all the components of HDI. 3 components we are talking about over here. The first is life expectancy, and then the second is education part and the standard of living and all. So 3, life expectancy index, education and adjusted gross, all 3. So there has been significant improvement in all the components of HDI. That is, increase in life expectancy is also there, mean years of schooling by adults and expected years of schooling and real GDP per capita. All these components are improving in terms of development. For example, life expectancy in India increased from 57.9 years in 1990 to 68.8 years in 2017, and we must say it's a remarkable development in terms of it. Similarly, per capita GDP, that is PPP, purchasing power parity, increased from $1,740 in 1990 to $7,060 in 2017. That is, expected years of schooling increased from 7.6 years in 1990 to 12.3 years in 2017. And the last is, even though India has a long way to improve, as we see the data, right, in this arena, the existing gap in health and education indicators between India and the developed countries and also many developing countries, they highlight that there is much faster and there is the need of much faster and wider spread of basic health and education, as reflected by China and Sri Lanka in your table, and as reflected by the previous table that is given by the UNDP. This is all for this chapter. This chapter is done. You will have to be careful when you are self-studying. Be careful about the data's information or that is given by UNDP related to India.